feel like all of these books are very odd pairings, so I'm gonna stop saying that, because I think I've been saying that for literally every book. We don't go the same places that we used to go. Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. I'm back with another video of if you like this book, you might also enjoy this book. I will link the previous version of this down below. It's been a while since I've done one, and I actually really enjoy watching them. Obviously, we all have such different preferences, so it's impossible to really guess if people will enjoy something or not. Every book is very different, even if it's compared to something else, as you'd hope, otherwise that would be plagiarism. But if you're looking for a quick recommendation based on your other favorite books, or even a theme, a keyword, a trope, I hope these can come in handy. If you enjoy me and me face, make sure to subscribe, press the bell button, blah 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 blah, so you don't actually miss when I upload. I know YouTube has been a little bit dodgy letting people know when I upload recently, so just in case. Without further ado, let's get through the books. If you love detailed clothing descriptions, and if you like to spend a lot of time focusing on the current fashion and trends, as well as liking a strong romance subplot with occasional somewhat mysterious, tiny bit creepy twists and plots, you might have enjoyed Caraval. And if you enjoyed Caraval, I have a feeling you might also enjoy Spin the Dawn. Caraval obviously talks about dresses quite a bit, and Spin the Dawn is about a girl who enters as a tailor in a competition just for men, so she's pretending to be a man. A really big focus in both of these is romance, so I think these could be paired up really well. Next two books are what I would consider geared towards kind of giving you hope in humanity or in yourself, and showing you the reasons why it's worthwhile sticking around, you know, adjusting expectations, and also talking about struggling with said will to live. So the first one is The Midnight Library. So whilst this is a very internal battle, an internal story about various what-ifs scenarios, I thought it was just okay, and I thought another book did that to me much better. And whilst the plot-wise is very, very different, Anxious People felt way more hopeful and did a better job at shifting my perspective on life a little bit. So if you enjoyed this for those kind of reasons of talking about depression and hardships in life, you might actually really, really love this. I hope you do, because I really did. If you are a fan of a cozy sci-fi, I think you will probably be a fan of Becky Chambers' stories. I am holding To Be Thought If Fortunate, but any of her books honestly is just a warm hug in a sci-fi. It's not pew pew pew. It's very much more so looking inwards and philosophizing about other species and how to interact with them and how to respect different ways and forms of living. The writing style is so different. The vibe is very different. However, I do think that the suggestion for if you like Becky Chamber for this works because of the respect aspect, because of the curiosity-driven plot progression. Obviously, it's also a sci-fi. The way it approaches exploration, I really liked. So, Project Hail Mary. If you want Becky Chamber, but faster and with more humor, Project Hail Mary. I can't stop smiling when holding these because I love them both so much. Now, if you read The Space Between Worlds and really enjoyed the talk and focus on corruption aspect of things, I think you would enjoy Invisible Kingdoms. This is a novel, and this is a graphic novel, but they do have corruption at their core. Other than that, the themes are very, very different, even though they are both sci-fis. But if you do like corruption as a core theme, I think these are great choices. Next two books are very, very different. However, they are both fantasies, and I do think that they share a darkness between them. These are very tragic stories, very deeply hurt. They just carry such deep hurt, and you go through all of that hurt with the character together. I think both of these books tie you with the main character so much that you can very easily sympathize with them, and you feel like you're going through all of these terrible, horrible things with them. So if you like a little bit of that torture, I think you would have enjoyed The Poppy War, and if you haven't read, you probably should. And if you did like this, I do really think you are likely to enjoy the 5th season. Both of them quite gory and shocking. I think this one was lighter than this one. Albeit there's a chapter or two that are quite dark in here. I think this one is overall a little bit more depressive throughout. The Poppy War did have a bit more humor, but I actually liked the 5th season a bit more because it was just it was a punch in the gut. If a book makes me feel things, it's an absolute yes from me. Speaking of comics, Saga is one that if you know anything about graphic novels, you probably have heard about. So the thing that attaches this to my suggestion is the crass humor. Pretty much that's like the only thing in common. But if you really like the crass humor, which both of these have a lot, Rat Queens. I've spoken about both of these things so much, I feel like I don't even need to linger. But if you're looking for a funny, and even actually, I'm gonna get demonetized showing this way. Even the art style is, I mean, it's different, but it's very colorful. So it's similar in that regard. It's not like very stylized in any unusual way. It's pretty kind of standard, pretty. Is that a mean thing to say? I don't know, it's pretty. The next two are for those who enjoy a government conspiracy, secret places, secret plots, a dystopian type of vibe, just a lot of secret plots going on. And very importantly, angst. So much angst. So for the first one, you might have guessed it, it's Red Rising. I think it fits the template very well. So this one is a little bit more in my rich vocabulary, pew pew pew, than the one suggested. It's more, although there's a fair amount of fighting as well, but it's more based on your mind and the tricks you can do with that. You might actually really enjoy The Bone Season. Different vibe. Both in UK are considered adult. Both, I would say, verge on being somewhere in between of YA and adult. So even the effort-wise, they would be pretty comparable in my eyes. I don't think I've ever seen them being compared though, so I could be very wrong. But in my this is all my opinion. So I think if you like Red Rising or parts of Red Rising, you might enjoy The Bone Season. If you liked The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I think you could possibly enjoy The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Two, again, very, very different books. However, both deal with memory shenanigans. So in this one, it's a girl with a curse upon her that she just cannot be remembered. And The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle is all about forgetting stuff. It's a murder mystery, plus this is kind of like just like a drama. But if you've read this and you've not read anything else with memory stuff, you really like that aspect, I think you could enjoy this. The writing style is very different, very different. Now, if you enjoy The Cruel Prince, and you enjoyed the trope of a more independent YA, somewhat politically motivated heroine that still somehow gets really dragged, and a lot of it is about a boy, but who is very fiery and rebellious, I think you might enjoy The Shadows Between Us, because I think the main characters like Jude from here and, oh my god, what was your name? Alessandra. They really remind me of one another. They are really made from the same leaf. And even though, again, they're both quite politically aware and, you know, involved, and they try and take their own fate into their own hands, they do then still end up being very heavily involved in a romance plot as well. So if you enjoy The Cruel Prince, you might enjoy The Shadows Between Us. And then the last pairing is definitely more of a vibe one. So if you enjoyed A Darker Shade of Magic, you might like The Bone Shard Daughter. These are both considered adult, but again, more on a crossover line of fantasy. Both deal with a little bit of forbidden magic as well as being set near water or having water themes, although I think this one is in the second book more so than the first one. Both are also told from multiple POVs, and royalty is a big part in both of them as well. Even with that put aside, I still kind of feel like there's a similar vibe. I think maybe it's the pacing. Both of these were quite quick reads despite them being, well, actually this one is not that long, but they're not too short either. The writing style even maybe really compares in my mind. I don't know about you. Let me know if you read these both. And that actually concludes this video. I hope this was useful. Let me know if any of these panned out to you, if you did read both of them, or if you found one that you are intrigued for now. Again, I'm just comparing aspects of each book, so it is a tricky business, but I hope that this was an interesting video to watch. I hope you are well. Thank you so much for watching. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I will see you in the next video very soon. Bye!